Hey everyone, it's day 17 of our journey through Lent together. All hope you're having a lovely day. Today's passage is Hosea chapter 6, verse 6. For I desire steadfast love and not sacrifice, the knowledge of God rather than burnt offerings. I think as we're approaching the midpoint of Lent, this verse is really helpful in reminding us what we're doing this for. I know for myself, I've gone vegetarian this Lent, and I'm getting to the point where I really want to tell people. And whether that's a bit of pride or even just me wanting sympathy, I'm not really sure. But what I do know is sometimes I need to sit back and reframe my mindset on this. And Hosea 6:6 reminds us exactly why. You see, this verse emphasizes that God values a sincere, genuine, loving, personal relationship over empty religious rituals. Not to say rituals of worship are useless, but this verse highlights that acts of worship are meaningless if not accompanied by a heart that knows God. And this is especially reflected in how we treat others, because God prefers heartfelt interactions with other people over the mere offerings of ritual sacrifices. Because true devotion is understanding God's character, internalizing it, and not just looking to perform it outwardly in a way that might be prideful. And Jesus actually calls back to this multiple times. In Matthew 9:13 and Matthew 12:7, that highlights that compassion takes precedent over rigid rule following. And of course, rules have their place. Without them, we wouldn't know how to channel our faith. But Jesus is emphasizing that he wants our heart in the right place. Funnily enough as well, this verse is actually addressing Israel's hypocrisy, because despite them being God's people and going through multiple rituals, they'd have a tendency of living in injustice and disobedience. In essence, Hosea 6:6 is calling for a relationship-driven faith that manifests loving behavior rather than a rule-driven faith filled with empty ceremonies. And I must reiterate, I am not saying that church or any of its ceremonies are bad. Far from it. But simply to remind ourselves of where our hearts are. As always, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. God bless. Love you guys. And I'll see you for day 18.